opens with a chuckle. So, why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. Now, speaking of making up everything, let's dive into the life of a comedian. Imagine being born into a world where your first laugh is at your own joke. That's exactly what happened with Johnny the Jester. Born in the small town of Laughter Lane, Johnny had an unusual knack for comedy. His first words? A punchline. By the time he was toddling, he was already cracking one-liners that would make the toughest critics crack a smile. As Johnny grew, so did his sense of humor. Elementary school saw him transform into the class clown, always ready with a joke to lighten the mood. He made it his mission to put a smile on everyone's face, from the sternest teacher to the grumpiest janitor. In high school, Johnny discovered his love for stand-up comedy. While his peers were busy with sports and academics, Johnny would spend his evenings at the local comedy club, perfecting his craft. He had his fair share of hecklers and critics, but Johnny was resilient. He believed in the power of laughter and was determined to bring it into the world. College was a whirlwind for Johnny. He studied during the day, performed at night, and somehow managed to squeeze in a little sleep. His comedy style evolved, becoming more sophisticated and witty. He had a flair for observational humor, turning everyday situations into hilarious anecdotes. After graduation, Johnny moved to the big city, aiming to make it big in the world of comedy. The journey wasn't easy. There were nights when he performed to empty rooms, days when he doubted his talent. But Johnny pushed through, kept refining his jokes, his timing, his delivery. And then, one night, Johnny got his big break. A talent scout was in the audience and was impressed by Johnny's performance. He was signed to a major comedy label, and the rest, as they say, is history. Johnny the Jester went on to become one of the most celebrated comedians of his time. He toured the world, bringing his unique sense of humor to people of all ages and walks of life. His jokes, his stories, his observations, they all had one thing in common. They made people laugh. But the life of a comedian isn't all laughs and applause. It's a constant hustle, a never-ending quest for the next big joke. It's late nights and early mornings. It's facing criticism and dealing with self-doubt. It's about finding humor in the mundane, about turning pain into laughter. To sum up, the life of a comedian like Johnny the Jester is a roller coaster ride, filled with ups and downs, laughs and tears. It's a life dedicated to making people laugh, to spreading joy in the world. It's a life that takes a lot of courage, a lot of resilience, and a whole lot of humor. And that, dear listeners, is the life of a comedian. A life filled with laughter, love, and a never-ending quest for the perfect punchline. So next time you hear a joke, remember the journey behind it. And don't forget to laugh. After all, laughter, as they say, is the best medicine.